Whilst everyone is trying to figure out whether a Devil Joe would eat its tail, let's quickly travel back in time and talk about a piece of Fatalis lore that got everyone scratching their heads. Hey everyone, Corner Pinoy X here once again, and today we're going to quickly cover a piece of Fatalis lore that makes Paul W.S. Anderson's live-action Monster Hunter movie technically canon by proxy through this one piece of Fatalis lore from Capcom's big, thick book of Iceborne lore. Now this is the excerpt we're going to look at, and we're gonna quickly break it down as to what exactly it covers with this very rough translation right here. Now keep in mind, app translations are weirdly worded, however I did corroborate the information with people who speak fluent Japanese and they gave me the general gist of the excerpt and it matches the rough translations. So with that being said, what exactly did Capcom use to connect Paul Anderson's movie to the series canon? The answer? Time-space distortions and the idea of traveling between worlds. What the? Yep, that's pretty much it. According to this excerpt, there's a rumor of a time-space distortion happening in a desert region that connects the desert to a different world. These are the exact same events that happened in the Monster Hunter movie, where Artemis and her squad got dragged into the world of Monster Hunter via time-space distortions in a desert region. So even though it's only mentioned as a rumor in the excerpt, since the researcher wasn't there to witness it, the excerpt pretty much described the initial events of the movie. This segment is also likely describing the events that happened in the collaboration event back in Iceborne, where Artemis traveled to Wildspire Waste, but she got dragged into the past instead. With that said, the reason Fatalis is used as the proxy to connect the movie to the series canon is because it mentions that Shred Kingdom may be a location where these distortions possibly occur in. Aiden even mentions in Iceborne that he felt as if past and present converge in Castle Shred, so the distortion is felt even by people who haven't been there before.
Oh, amazing. I don't know how to put it, but it's like somehow the past and the present meet up right at this point.
However, the biggest connection between Fatalis and the movie actually happened back in 4 Ultimate, when White Fatalis entered Castle Shred via a time-space distortion generated by an eclipse. So as you can see, not only are Capcom connecting the live-action movie to Iceborne via this excerpt, they're also connecting it with the events that happened in a previous Monster Hunter game by making a comparison between what happened back in 4 Ultimate to what happened in the movie as well. Now, given that Capcom retconned the hunt against Crimson and White Fatalis by saying that Iceborne is the very first time we ever fought the Fatalis species as a whole, it is possible that we may have fought them in the past, but the hunters don't remember the events because their memories have been distorted by the time-space anomalies in which these creatures possibly live in. This means that the encounters with Crimson and White Fatalis have no records whatsoever in the game's storyline, but because their memories have been distorted, they may have already discovered these monsters in the past, they just don't remember it. Now, as an added bonus, I did strike a conversation with one of the most prolific Monster Hunter lore enthusiasts in the community, and that's Bandlagiacrus. They actually highlighted something that I completely missed during my research, and that's the fact that this excerpt doesn't just make the Monster Hunter movie canon with the desert region, it also makes another collaboration canon, but this time directly through the Fatalis, and that's the Dragalia Lost collaboration. Both Dragalia Lost and the Monster Hunter movie corroborate the information regarding otherworld travel that the excerpt mentions, meaning that they are technically part of the series canon. Along with this information, we also understand that it's not actually the Fatalis that generates the distortions, but rather some level of human influence is involved. This is something the movie hints upon with Ron Perlman, the Admiral, mentioning that the reason for these distortions is because of the constructs created by the ancient civilization.
It is said that the ancients knew how to travel between both worlds. I believe that is the purpose of the Sky Tower. That is what brought you here.
Even Dragalia Lost's lore regarding the Fatalis mentions that the Black Dragon doesn't generate these distortions but simply has the strength to travel through them with minimal effort. Even the excerpt seems to hint at the idea of human involvement, meaning the ancient civilization with regards to these time-space anomalies. However, we will need a direct translation of this book from Capcom themselves to get a better understanding on what they're trying to portray here. So, with that information in mind, this means that traveling between worlds has always been possible in the Monster Hunter series history since the existence of the ancient civilization. This means that both humans and monsters crossing between worlds has always been possible in the series. So, with that in mind, the question now is, which collaborations are considered canon? And that, everyone, is how Capcom used the Fatalis as a proxy in order to shoehorn the Monster Hunter movie by Paul W.S. Anderson into the series canon through the use of time-space distortions and traveling between worlds. Now, at the end of the day, this is Capcom's own IP. They can do whatever they want with it. But I do find it quite ridiculous that Capcom would use this particular method in order to connect the movie into the series canon, and the fact that they even did it to begin with makes me question what else Capcom has in store for us in future Monster Hunter games when they start making more of these lore books. But with all of that being said, what do you think about the Fatalis being an otherworld traveler and the fact that Capcom connected it through the Monster Hunter movie? Let us know in the comments below your thoughts and opinions regarding everything we've just discussed about Fatalis, traveling between dimensions, time-space distortions, and of course, the Monster Hunter movie being canon. And of course, as always, if you enjoyed these videos, please consider hitting the like on the video itself and subscribing to the channel as well as hitting that bell icon so you can go ahead and catch up on any other content that I might be doing in future. Until then, I hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks ever so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Onward and upward.